Hey guys, it's Lindsay here. I am going to go through what we went through in my second and third trimester so you guys know what happened during my twin pregnancy. I didn't in my last video wouldn't say what it was, but I had a friend that had already told me she had an ultrasound she uses on her goats that she wanted to try out on me. So she hooked it up on my belly, and I got to see that there was one. And then I said, well, what is that right there? Because I knew from the pregnancy before what it could look like. And there was another one, and I was like, oh no, I hope no one is hiding behind there for a triplet. So my mind went into the worst case scenario. But then as I thought about how it looked, I kept thinking that it looked different than my first twins. So there was a thicker line between them. So it told me that they were not having the same placenta, and they weren't sharing the same sac. So I was so thrilled when that happened. And they told me at my doctor's appointment the day after that last video that that they were a boy and a girl. And so right here, I'm gonna throw in a clip of us announcing it to my husband, which is kind of funny because it was just a little different. Because both of my kids ended up going, and then we got to announce it to Dad what we were having.
Open it. Open it. Just open it. They're boom booms. Bangs. You probably have to do it. Oh wow. You're having trouble there? Don't you always have keys on you? Find permanent mark. Don't open the letter first. A first.
So we know that there's two, right? You got that concept, right?
Why don't you guys go?
What? Do you even know how to pop it?
You gotta pull the thing first, take off the top, and then twist. Get a little closer there, girly girl. Not in your face, that might hurt.
Isn't it this way?
Yes.
Yeah, just.
Go.
Am I an idiot?
Yes.
No, I'm not an idiot. Is that your clip, remember?
Did you hear him?
What?
Oh, great.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I did the same thing. Oh, great.
It's so hard to twist. What? The wind's blowing this way, so.
Yeah, but his reaction give her to people
These
on
would be good
YouTube
to
is
shoot at
complete opposite.
Like, it'd be like smoke bomb. That'd be fun. Would it hurt? It looks like it would hurt. Yeah, you actually have to twist it the other way. Good.
You're really good.
Did you, okay, what did you?
So if you notice in that clip that he's like, oh boy, when it says boy, because our boys are our harder ones, and we didn't want another boy. We wanted a girl. But so we got us a boy and we got us a girl. And then after that, my second trimester was the easiest, should I say? I mean, I was so big I could hardly move, but it was way easier than the first trimester or the third trimester. So second trimester is known to have for you to have more energy, and so I did have more energy, and then I didn't have as much sickness, but I had heartburn really bad. So I pushed myself really hard in my second trimester. Third trimester came. Okay, so second trimester we finished 4-H. We went to a cabin with my husband. We kind of chilled there, and then eventually we went to we call it October camp. It's a homeschooling Church of Christ camp. So we went to that, and it was my last push. Like, that was like all that I could give left, I feel like. And then we finished that next week after camp. We finished soccer, and I basically, after that, my doctors told me that I needed to slow down and not do stairs. And my husband's like, "You're having such a hard time. I think you shouldn't be driving either." So I basically stopped. I did the best I could, but my legs weren't working. My body wasn't working, and there was so much of like a fog that I could not even figure out what to do with homeschooling. So our lives basically just stopped. I was only going to doctor's appointments. I couldn't put one foot in front of another to even do homeschool. I landed on the couch and basically didn't get up. I did. I went to the bathroom. I went to doctor's appointments. And when I got into my third trimester, I was going to 2-3 doctor's appointments a week, and it took a lot out of me just to go to those. And then when I hit 32 weeks, 30 weeks, I started contracting. When I got to 34 weeks, I started dilating. And then my liver, my platelets, and my kidneys started going wacky for preeclampsia. Preeclampsia. And so they had me go into the hospital for 2 days, and then released me. And then I think from 34 weeks on, I was kind of just emotionally just disconnected. I don't know if that's the way to put it, but I didn't want to be pregnant anymore. I couldn't go any further. And they kept pushing me. And I went a full-term twin pregnancy to 37 weeks, where I did not think I was gonna make it that far. We ended up going for my scheduled C-section, and I was not walking. Well, let's say I did not walk very well all the way until I went to the hospital for the 2 days. They gave me a walker, and they wanted me to do the best I could, and I couldn't. I did the best that I could, but I couldn't. they wanted me to walk more, and it hurt to walk. Well, then they were head down when I was dilating. They decided to go transverse, which is from left to right. So the contractions were still going, but I wasn't dilating anymore because there was nothing for the contractions to push on to make me dilate more. So I was kind of stuck. They decided they could not get heart rates very well when they did the stress tests. So they had to keep doing ultrasounds on me to check the hearts. They were basically on top of each other. And so they couldn't get they could get one heart rate, but they couldn't get the other heart rate. And they were like, I know they're similar, but they're not exact. So I was getting exact the same on the stress test. And then when I went into the hospital, okay, let's go to the last shebang here. My last day of delivery, I had a C-section. Went in at 5:30 in the morning. I did everything that I was supposed to, did not eat, all that kind of stuff. And then when they took me in, I walked into my C-section room. They did not wheel me in. I walked. Actually, they had to re-clean my surgery room because it got contaminated. I think somebody must have went in and touched something or something, but it got contaminated, so they had to re-clean my surgery room. So it took them longer to get me in. But my husband was not allowed to go back with me. And so he was in another room with all of our stuff. Or I guess it's kind of like the man's waiting room. So I went and I had the epidural, which is like a stronger epidural than I had with my daughter. And I did not like that. That hurt. And then they said, they put everything on. They said, we're gonna stab you to see if the epidural took. They stabbed me. I couldn't feel it. So they proceeded to get my husband, and they got started. They took Kaylin, my son, out first. He was baby A, but he was on the backside. So he came out first, and then Elsie came out second. And they got them all cleaned up and everything, weighed in, checked out, all that good stuff. My husband got to cut the umbilical cords, and then they all left. And I was still on the surgery table. So they took out the fallopian tubes, which is supposed to help with not getting ovarian cancer. And then they had to fix my uterus because, well, both the twins had shifted all on my left-hand side, and, well, that's why I couldn't walk very well, was because they were on my left-hand side. Well, so we tried to breastfeed, and Elsie bit the snot out of me, and that didn't work very well with me. And then we ended up going back. We were going to they took me to the room to recover, and they give you like 2 hours in a special room. And that was, I did okay. But when I went to my, I guess you could call it postpartum room, I was seriously sick. I was sick all the rest of that day. Every time I ate something, it came up. I drank something. Every time I ate and drank, I had hiccups. It was horrible. And that kind of put a stop still on breastfeeding, but I kept trying to, and I kept trying to pump, and it just wasn't working. We were in the hospital. I pushed myself 3 days. So that first day you do the delivery, and I got sick, and they don't let you up. The next morning, my catheter was completely full, so they had to take it out. Well, then that forces you to have to get up, and I couldn't walk. Every time I tried to get up, my right hand side felt like it was ripping, like everything inside of me was ripping apart. The nurses had to literally lift me up and force me to walk baby steps to the bathroom. So literally this journey has started from literally not walking. My recovery journey was literally starting from learning how to walk again and training my legs to work. Then so that whole day they had to lift me out of bed to get me to the bathroom. And then the next day, I forced myself to get up because I can't go home if I can't walk. I had to mark all these little things off and done to get out of the hospital. So that day was like, I'm going to get these things done. We're going to do these. And I forced myself. So at 9 o'clock at night, I always say, we snuck out of the hospital. It was 9 o'clock at night. We were released, and we went home. My idea was that when I was in the hospital, the nurses couldn't come exactly when I needed them to come. And that's hard, having twins and you can't walk. So if I'm at home, I have the 2 older kids and I have my husband that can help me with the area where if I can't get up or all that good stuff, like I can't do this, can you help me? They're right there. And so I figured if I came home, I was in a better shape than if I was in the hospital. So I pushed to get. And so we came home, let's see, they were born December 27th at 8:30 in the morning. Kaylin was 5 pounds, I think 8 ounces, 5 pounds something. And Elsie was 6 pounds something. So she's my bigger one, but she was my last child. We came home 3 days later, so that would have been the day before New Year's Eve. I did not want to have to spend New Year's Eve in the hospital. So we came home and I got to spend New Year's Eve at home, and we did the best that we could. And we got to where we could. I had to have a lot of help to get to fully walking and getting back. I had a lot of backache. My back was what would kill me. I felt like I was at a point of almost addicted to ibuprofen, because if I got off of it for more than 24 hours, like I took it and then 24 hours later, I had to take it again. My back, my legs, my hip, my shoulder blades, my right one, my right shoulder blade, my right hip, all that would just be all out of whack. So I did what I could, and the only way I could push is if I had ibuprofen, because I had to literally start from nothing. My muscles were shot. They were so horrible. So when I start this journey, which is starting like now, I am literally starting from the beginning of all beginnings. So it is going to be like the hardest journey, but we're going to do it. And so I am starting from the beginning workouts to my worst weigh-in ever. So that is where we're starting. And that is how things are. And I'm hoping to recover from all of this. So we're 3 months in. I am able to walk. My muscles are coming back. My belly is not completely down. And we are just starting at where we're starting. So join me on this journey as I keep going. I will show you what I'm doing and how I'm recovering, and then show you my workouts, and you could do them with me if you want. And hopefully you can get something out of this. And kid just went running across the house. And all the way back. So I hope you get something out of this journey with me. And hopefully I can teach you what I learned from it. I will probably do the best I can to show workouts, some nutrition stuff, garden. I will probably do some DIY or day in life up. We'll just say it that way. I've got garden stuff about to roll, so I'm hoping to show you guys all of that. I'm hoping to do my garden better this year. So last year, at the end of the garden, I did the best I could to start it. And then the weeds came, and I did the best to lay down on the ground and pull weeds. But I was not able to finish that garden. I literally just did the best that I could. I handed it over to my husband, and I don't think we got much out of the garden last year. Between the weeds taking over, I call them ground squirrels. They don't look like chipmunks, but other people around here call them chipmunks. I don't call them chipmunks. They're ground squirrels. They have a tail that is like a skinny. They don't have the stripes and polka dots like a squirrel. So and then my husband didn't get to pull everything out. So this year, I still have onions in my garden. So we will see what comes from that. I feel like there might be potatoes still in the pot. The carrots went bad. They were out there. I pulled some of those already for this season. And we're going at a snail pace at this rate. Even though I feel like that I'm constantly running a marathon. So I will try the best I can to show you what I do. So I will finish here, and I will talk to you guys about things later. Talk to you later. Bye for now. Oh, a baby's crying. Hopefully another kid gets him. And they I pushed, and I don't know if they're gonna get them.